How can it be a crime to fall in love?
Imagine, 14 years, sitting in the jail. What about my baby?
Not my missus and not my unborn child, no way.
I was pushing and pushing. I said, save yourself.
I wasn't tempted for a second to leave her.
I can see the gun pointing on us. They will not stop until one of us is dead.
From Wondery, this is Locked Up Abroad. I'm your host, Jim Clementi. Today's episode is Prisoner of Love. David Scott was a 36-year-old machine operator in Swindon, England in 2007. When his father was stricken with cancer, he began searching the internet for information about the disease and unexpectedly began an online relationship with Cynthia Reyes, a Filipino woman who had recently left a violent marriage. After a few months, David takes a trip to the Philippines to meet Cynthia, and their relationship deepens. David returns to England, and a short time later, Cynthia calls to tell him that she's pregnant. Overjoyed, he immediately goes back to the Philippines to be with her, not realizing that the country's strict laws regarding marriage and adultery will turn their life upside down.
I was 36 years old. I was working as a machine operator. I had a few relationships in the past, nothing serious. But your heart's always open and you're always looking for someone, even if you think you ain't, you always are. At the time, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. I was just surfing the internet to see what information I could find out about it. It was pure coincidence I came across a site. I noticed this beautiful woman, just thought I had to talk to her.
Hello?
His camera popped up and he's waving and then he's saying hi. He was like doing like that. I said, all right, why not try and talk to him?
Cynthia told me she was working in Abu Dhabi. She's got 2 kids. She's separated from her husband. You can see how upset him was for her.
My ex always treated me bad. Violence is always there. He kicked me out. He said to me that I want to get rid out of you. I want you out of my life. It's really hard for me to leave the country, leaving my children behind.
Sounds like a nice man.
You can't get a divorce in the Philippines. It's a very Catholic country. So she's trying to save up the money to get an annulment, and it's a very, very expensive process.
Then as time goes by, we keep on chatting. I feel like special. I know he's a nice person.
One day, Cynthia said that she's going back to the Philippines for a holiday. I said to her, hang on. I'm going to meet you there.
What? Are you serious?
My friends thought I was crazy, but I could spend a whole lifetime regretting it if I don't do this. I had no idea of the nightmare that was yet to come. I was very nervous when I arrived at Manila Airport. I'm well aware of what people think about a Western man meeting a Filipino on the internet, mail order brides, it's all sleazy, but I thought she could be the one, and my feelings were real. I spotted Cynthia, and she was stunning.
He's quite tall. I was like looking at it like that. It's like my neck's quite hurt.
And I remember saying to her, the camera don't do you justice. You're definitely more beautiful.
I am very, very happy, of course, and excited. He's here. His intention is really genuine. I can feel that he's man of my life.
I had an amazing time. Definitely fell in love with Cynthia and everything about her. Her family, the country. You couldn't help but feel it.
It's really, really nice feeling knowing that there is still a man who will accept who I am. I felt so much beautiful that time.
It'd be different if she was still with her husband. But I knew they were long split up by the time I come on the scene. In my eyes, Cynthia was single, so she was quite capable of dating whoever she wanted. One day, my mum phoned me up and said to me, look, your dad's not too good at the moment. You've got to get back home right now. And it was 2.5 days after I got back that he passed away. That's horrible to see. But I'm glad I did get to speak to my dad, and I wouldn't give up that time for anything. About a week later, I went online as usual to speak to Cynthia.
Hey.
And she was crying. And I remember saying to her, what's the matter, what's the matter? She said,
I'm pregnant.
and I couldn't understand why she was crying. I said, that's great news. That's the best news I've had all year.
I said, but that's not our plan. I told him I was crying and he was like, I'm over the moon.
And I was really happy. I've met the woman I want to be with and she's pregnant. I planned to save up as much money as I could and be with her as soon as possible.
Bye.
I am happy, but if my ex-husband find out I am pregnant, it will be a big problem. I know he's jealous. One day, I went to the clinic to have a checkup for my baby. And I can feel that there's someone behind me. I just take no notice because why would I think that someone's following me? But then I start worrying. Then I called my friend who's working in the clinic. My friend said, when you get there, don't go through the entrance. Go at the back. And then I will meet you there. When I had my checkup, my friend gave me a call. She told me that, Cynthia, there is one man here asking about you. I think he's a detective. I said, what did you tell him? She said, we cannot give any information about you. But I think that man find out that I was seeing a gynecologist and I was wearing baggy dress. So I think they have a hint. I was really scared because I know that behind of this is my ex-husband. Because who else will do it?
I was scared for Cynthia's safety. So a couple of days later, I flew back out to the Philippines. It's my job to protect her. Even though at the time I didn't realize that I was going to get slightly out of my depth.
We are in the Catholic country. People will see that I'm with him. It's really an issue for them because I'm still legally married.
A few weeks later, Cynthia's solicitor sent us a letter.
Oh my God, David.
They said that my ex-husband is filing an adultery charge against me.
Adultery?
They found pictures of me and her on Facebook. Adultery in the Philippines is a serious charge.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, David.
My solicitor said that if I'm proven guilty, it could be imprisonment for me. Of course, I was just crying. I was burst into tears because they can see, they have evidence that, okay, I'm pregnant.
We knew he's got himself a girlfriend, so how could he file charges against us?
Pa!
It's double standards.
Pa, dinidemanda ako for adultery.
And on the letter it said that if we can pay him $10,000, he'd drop the charges. He thinks I'm a rich foreigner. That I ain't. Even if I had the money, there's no way I'd give in to this kind of blackmail.
We tried to forget the problem for a while because it's holiday season. We're chatting. And then I heard a noise.
Cynthia!
Someone's calling me Cynthia, Cynthia. My heart jumped. That's it.
How could that be?
Why is there someone calling my name?
I went to look out the window. His dad's going, no, I'll look.
And then he said, Cynthia, there's loads of people outside.
You could see loads of police cars. This is very disturbing and very scary. They're all armed to the teeth. They've all got their big machine guns. And I thought, this is serious overkill. You could hear her dad trying to talk to them downstairs, getting upset.
I said, I cannot take this anymore because my dad is the one dealing with them. Should be me.
I'll go down.
We went downstairs. Police come bursting in the door.
I said, my goodness, this is the moment I'm scared of. My heart palpitated. I was like, oh my God, this is the scariest thing.
I couldn't take my eyes off the guns that were there. And then some bloke come barging through the door,
Sabi ko, ligtas na yan.
shouting to everybody and dictating like he's a police officer.
Sa'yo.
Then it dawned on me, this is her ex-husband.
He was really angry. She's the one. She's pregnant. It's not even mine. He was shouting that I am adultery. I'm a slut. And then they showed the warrant of arrest and then they said, we have to arrest you for adultery.
I thought, this is unreal, this is crazy.
Sa akin yan.
And he's telling the police, put handcuffs on her, put handcuffs on me.
They said, why are you putting this? I'm not gonna escape. Do you think I am a criminal? Because of what? Falling in love with David? I said, I can't accept that.
As we were led off, Cynthia's dad stuffed some money in my pocket. But I didn't really figure out what he meant at the time.
When I eventually went out the door, I saw these plenty people.
Everybody start taking pictures of us. And you think, this is crazy. I'm not burying my head. The only thing I've done wrong is fall in love with a woman and we're having a baby together. And I'm proud of that. Then I noticed Cynthia's kids there as well.
And then I saw them. I just can't believe it because why even the children?
This looks like someone just rips her heart out. And it was horrible to see. What kind of man would do this? Not only to his ex-missus, to the kids.
He will do the best he can to hurt me. You can do everything, but don't hurt my children.
But it seemed like the drive went on forever. It did worry me, the fact that Cynthia's ex-husband seemed to have control over the police. When you've got that sort of game, law seems to go out the window. That was the scariest thing. How could you fight for justice when these people are corrupt?
I'm just really upset on that time. David is a visitor in that country. I have to protect him. But in what way?
We walked into the police station. It's a little dirty room. You had murderers, rapists, child molesters.
My goodness, I don't want to mix with these people. I said, please do something, please do something.
I'm trying to talk to this police, look, don't lock her up, she's pregnant. Then it clicked to me why Cynthia's dad give me so much money. Without even thinking, I just handed him over 1,000 pesos.
Come on, let's go.
I was disgusted with that they put a pregnant woman through that just to make a bit of money.
They put us in the separate cell, but it's just beside the cell, we're crowded with criminals. That cell is too small. You cannot even stretch your leg. I can see also rat running around. I said, I see a rat in the jail. I said, my goodness, really, it's a very dirty place.
It was definitely a total nightmare.
Oh my God, what if I get sentenced? What about my baby? What will happen to my baby?
About an hour passed, so the police officer said, look, come with us. And he took me around the side, and there was an unmarked police car there. But I thought, what's he bringing me round here for?
See this?
And there's bullet holes all over this car, and you see red, fleshy things stuck to it. And I didn't know what it was at the time. I just thought, oh, they've hit an animal or something. And he said, look, we arrested someone. Took him around the side here and shot him in the head. Why is a police officer telling me that he's just murdered someone? I just wanted to go back in. He made me feel physically sick and scared.
I can make her problem go away.
He said, well, take care of her ex so you got no more problems.
Just $400.
You think, am I really hearing what this bloke's offering me here? I was shell-shocked. I didn't know what to say to him. Because as much as I hate her ex, I didn't want this bloke dead. I said to him, nah, it ain't come to that, mate. There's no one in this world I'd ever accept that, not in this lifetime. Human life don't mean nothing to these people. And that was the most scariest thing of all. Eventually they let me phone the embassy and they sent out a representative.
David, Cynthia.
I expected so much for this bloke. He was my saviour, basically. He was the one who's going to tell us what to do.
He said that I cannot do anything about it.
Cynthia is still legally married to her ex.
And she is pregnant. So that was the evidence why they have this adultery case.
That's our Philippine law here.
He definitely thought we were in the wrong. He's going, oh, it's just the way it works here.
Well, I'm sorry, David. I cannot do anything about it.
But he actually said to us that we're looking at 7 to 14 years in prison. That was unbelievable.
I'm sorry.
Imagine 14 years sitting in the jail.
It was New Year's Eve, so you could hear all the celebrations outside, and it was just a horrible situation.
And then I get a pain in my stomach, maybe because of stress.
I was worried about her losing the baby or start bleeding or any of the other million things can go wrong with a pregnant woman. You could tell on her face she was upset and hurt and in pain.
David tried to tell me that everything will be fine. I'm thinking all these things happen. How can you say everything will be fine?
Finally, after 4 days, they informed us that we're going to go see a judge. Thank God for that. We're going to go see a bit of someone in a bit of authority and we can sort this mess out a little bit. And when we got down to the courthouse and we met the solicitor and all the solicitor says to me,
David, they've arrested you under the wrong name. Their warrant is invalid.
I couldn't believe it that they've arrested me under the wrong name.
But Cynthia, you need to come with me. We need to post bail.
You know, I went out of the car park at the back of the courts and waiting for Cynthia. I was worried about her being left in the courtroom on her own, not knowing if she's going to walk out there or not.
We went to the judge, we paid a bail, then for a temporary release.
Cynthia turned up, she could see she'd been crying.
They upheld the charges.
She said, we're looking at going to trial. The solicitor was saying to me, it's just a matter of time before they get an arrest warrant for you.
I can't guarantee your safety.
The only thing you can do is leave this country now.
It's best for you to leave.
No.
So you won't get arrested.
Cynthia said, I don't want anything to happen to you.
I was pushing him. I said, go back to England. Save yourself. They will not stop.
I wasn't tempted for a second to leave her. Not for a second.
For me, it's very, very, very nice feeling knowing the fact that we are in that situation, that I'm not on my own. Because, yeah, he have a choice, he can go. But he prepared to stay. I just want to forget everything, but he proves how he loves me so much.
We were warned about the ex-husband. Cynthia's family actually said to us that this bloke is pretty dangerous.
He's really desperate to catch me. Maybe he wants to kill me also.
We decided to go back to her cousin's house and hide out there. He's got a gated community. It would be safe there. When I first got there, he said to me, you've got nothing to worry about. You'll be well protected here. I thought, well, that's nice, but I don't know what you're on about. And then he said to me, look, come with us. He said, look, I've got a few things to show you.
This is a Beretta 9.
And I thought, why is he showing me this?
I think that's the first time David has seen a gun, and it's quite shocked.
Come in.
It's a common in the Philippines to keep at least one gun in the house. There's a lot of bad people.
Then he brought out a Magnum,
Very powerful gun.
showed me how to load it.
Hold it, but don't pull the trigger. Come on, follow me.
Then he said to me, come in your room. He pulled out a little drawer. There's 2 handguns in there. Then he brought out an M16, showed me how to load that. He said to me that you're well protected here. And you think to yourself, oh my God, what am I going to enter a war zone? I was definitely losing my moral compass there. And what goes through your mind is, I don't know if I can actually hold a gun, point it at someone and squeeze the trigger. But then you're thinking that gun is the only thing that's going to protect you and your family. If push comes to the shove, who knows? It really does get to you day after day, staying in, and you find you get more and more paranoid. Any car, you run to the window, see what it is. It definitely felt like I was losing a grasp of reality. It was crazy. It was like being locked up.
We're just inside the house. I feel a bit secured, but still, we cannot do anything what we want.
One day we had to go and see a solicitor. He agreed to give us a lift back home. You know, we were driving along. We were all talking about the case. The solicitor said, look, I think we're being followed.
Maybe that's my ex instruction to follow us.
And he said, look, I'm going to go around the block. He went down a couple of little side streets and it followed us. Now this is trouble. We're going to have to get onto an open road somewhere where we can try and lose it. They were swerving in and out of the cars. They were literally right behind us. I don't know what they were trying to do to us, but I didn't want to stay around and find out.
Then I saw that the window's a bit down. I can see the gun pointing on us.
The solicitor says, get down now.
I lift my head like that. I can't believe that it's happening. They are ready to kill us.
My life's in jeopardy. Cynthia's life's in jeopardy.
My heart beats so fast. I'm just praying that we survive.
It's crazy. We were racing through the streets, people getting on with their daily lives, and you've got two cars, one shooting at another. So we managed to race off. There was enough distance between us, and the solicitor said, you guys jump out and keep your head down. And I carry on going, so they follow me. He slammed on the anchors. He said, now jump out. I started helping Cynthia out. It seemed to take forever.
We need to run until we will not see the highway. And then we heard the sound of the car. I really feel scared. My tummy is really painful because we ran so fast until the point I asked David, can we stop? Or else I'm gonna die. Because I can feel I'm so exhausted.
So we just kept down, keep looking at it, see if they make a move or anything. I'm sweating, I'm scared. If they would have jumped out of the car, I don't know what we would have done.
They will not stop until one of us is dead.
A week later, my baby daughter was born. A nice, healthy baby girl we named Janina. I was getting choked up and, thinking, oh, this is the best day of my life. Kept looking into her eyes thinking, this is my daughter. I'll always be there for you. You're my new reason for being on this earth.
When we saw Janina, we forget about the problem. We just concentrate on her because she's the one we're fighting for.
After the birth, we made an appointment to go and see the British Embassy and see what they can do to help us. I knew it wouldn't be straightforward to get back to Britain because Cynthia would be jumping bail. But I wanted them to recognise that my daughter was a British citizen. So if it come to it, we could get her out of the country. Felt good because this is the first English voices I've heard in months.
Just go in here on the left, okay?
As soon as you step through the door, you think, now I'm in British soil.
David Scott, this way, please.
It was the same gentleman I see in the cells. I thought, oh, please. When I was in the cells, he was no use whatsoever. And he had a really serious look on his face, and you swallow, you thought, here we go, this is it now. What's he going to say? And he says, I couldn't get a visa for Janina to go anywhere under Filipino law.
They don't recognize your daughter as being your daughter.
I said, well, I'll take a DNA test. I'll do whatever you want.
DNA is irrelevant, David.
He said, it don't matter if she is your daughter, even by blood. They don't recognize her. She legally belongs to her ex-husband.
And it's up to him. What do you want to do with that baby?
I'm not giving her up.
It's not right. David is the father. And then suddenly we have this law that he cannot claim his child.
I was gobsmacked. It was like someone kicking me in the head.
What kind of country is this?
Over my dead body would he take my daughter away from me. At this point in time, it's looking pretty dismal. Cynthia and myself are looking at 14 years in prison for adultery, and I've been told I've got no legal rights to my own daughter.
We are more determined to fight when we had Janina because we don't want to lose Janina. She's our life.
We heard from a few of our sources that Cynthia's ex-husband was trying to take Janina off us just so he can put her in an orphanage for spite. I've got to protect my daughter. I want to get my daughter and my partner home. All we needed before we could get out of the country was Janina's birth certificate and Filipino passport.
I explained to David that we have to bribe official to sort out paperwork under the table. We don't have choice.
It's very hard to swallow. This goes against everything I believe in. It cost us $10,000. But I don't care if I had to dance with the devil himself, as long as they got my daughter and Cynthia to safety. Finally, we were ready to go.
Before we leave the country, David asked me, is this the thing you want to do? It means you have to leave your children. It's hard for me because I never get the chance to be with my family. I feel really sad. But I said, this is for the sake of our daughter.
Take care. Call me when you get there.
We set off to the airport. We were both kind of nervous, quiet. Cynthia's position, if she got caught, she'd be a fugitive of law. She'd be taken to prison because she would be jumping bail. That was the scariest thing.
Of course, we're still worried they will stop us if they recognize who we are. I was really scared. I was looking around. Every time I saw police, I was thinking they will arrest me. Or David.
It was extremely worrying trying to get out of there. You try and keep your head down, you try not to give them any eye contact, you just look the other way. You're trying to act like you're just a tourist leaving the country. You're thinking, please don't anybody look at me, don't recognise me. We checked in, nothing, no problem there, the woman was nice and helpful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Then we were in the queue for customs, and you're thinking, oh God, this is it, do or die. I told Cynthia, no matter what happens, once we go through customs, you carry on walking.
I was really nervous because I know Janina's passport, how she get the passport is not legit.
Morning.
When they check my paperwork, my heart is all over the place because I don't know, maybe they will stop me because I'm guilty, of course. They check it. Luckily, they didn't question, so it's such a relief for me. I said, my goodness, just one door, one step, and we're departed.
I thought, thank God, she's through. I put my passport on the counter. We had a look at it, and he seemed to be looking at it for a while. And I'm just sitting there staring and waiting for him to give me it back. You try and convince yourself, oh, it's nothing. You know what I mean? Or else you fall apart and then notice something's wrong. Then he showed it to someone else. You're thinking, I've got to try and play cool, even though in the back of your mind thinking, oh no, everything's going wrong now. And he said to me,
wait here for a while, please.
I thought, this is it. I'm going to prison. He's got me. I can say goodbye to Janina. And I was trying not to get choked up. You think yourself at the back of your head, it ain't that, it can't be that. The thought of not seeing her grow up would destroy me.
When the time that David was stopped, I was like, oh my God, this is it now. We're caught. We're not going anywhere.
I turned around and Cynthia's walking back towards me.
David told me to carry on walking. I said, you're crazy, how can I carry on walking? You're part of me, so I need to stop and see what's going on.
And she walked literally right up to me, and I'm turning my head like I don't know her. And then she puts her arm around me, are you okay? I thought, oh, Cynthia, what did I say about keep walking? Then the official came back with a passport.
Mr. David Scott.
Then he said to me, you've got trouble with your visa.
You overstayed your visa.
Turned out the problem was with me, where I spent all my time sorting out Janina, I actually forgot to sort out my own, and my visa was 2 days out of date. They said to me, look, if you pay the excess, we'll let you go through.
I didn't say anything. I just get the money and, panicking. Oh, here, you take it, something like that. Take it and go. So boarding area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I thought, yes. Thank God that's all it was. They called the plane, and I remember standing up, grabbing our stuff, and I thought, if I had my way, I'm going to just run to them doors. But we tried to walk as calmly as possible. As we got to the gate, I remember turning around, looking one last look, thinking, that's it, all this nightmare's behind us. The sigh of relief. That's one chapter of my life that's over with, and we're safe.
I give hug to David, and just all I can say is thank you to him. Thank you because he didn't give up. He honored his word that he will be with me all through this battle.
Cynthia's the one who gave up more than me. She gave up her family, her kids. There's not a day that goes past that she don't think of them 2 kids.
I hope one day I will be able to go back to the Philippines to see my children and to explain why things happen like that.
I do feel lucky in my life. I know it's the things that have gone on, but they ain't destroyed it. If anything, they've made us stronger than ever.
Just before Christmas, I had a good news finally that my annulments will coming through. So we can plan our wedding. That's the most, and he can't wait to marry me. Of course, I can't wait to marry him as well.
If I had to go through that again and again and again, I would, because Cynthia is definitely worth fighting for. You meet a few people in this world worth fighting for, and you've got to hold on to them, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Thank you for listening to Locked Up Abroad. You don't want to miss a single episode, so subscribe today on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, the Wondery app on Android, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You'll find a link to subscribe on the episode notes. Simply tap or swipe over the cover art. You'll also see some great offers from our sponsors. Please support our show by supporting our sponsors. If you have a moment, I'd love for you to complete a small survey at Wondery.com/survey. Give us your ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts, and be sure to tell all your friends about our show. Locked Up Abroad was produced by Raw TV Limited for National Geographic Channels. For our audio adaptation, the editor is Sergio Enriquez. Our producer is Donna Himes. Our executive producers are Jeffrey Glazer and Hernan Lopez for Wondery.
Do something witchy was the last thing Charles Manson said to his followers the night he sent them out to slaughter 5 people at the home of director Roman Polanski and actress Sharon Tate. But how did a troubled kid from West Virginia become Charles Manson? Join me, Tracy Patton, and Stephen Lang from the hit films Avatar and Don't Breathe in Young Charlie as we journey into the mind of one of the most infamous murderers ever to stalk Hollywood. Subscribe to Young Charlie on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this right now.